This is London with Bitcoin Spike VIP Trader. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to go over some details today on NVIDIA in the house rocking. Way to trade VIP. We're going to go over Bitcoin, of course. We're going to go over Solana. We're going to go over, guys, what do we have from Tesla? Yes, Tesla. A little bit of news from Elon and news from NVIDIA today. We got a 6% pop to the upside. This is London, former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, not financial advice. You guys know we're the #1 trade group, and that's just how we like it, nice and small. We're glad that you're here today, and we'll be going over the charts on the top left. You're going to see, guys, you're going to see Tesla on the top left, NVIDIA top right. You'll see Bitcoin bottom left. We got Solana up. We could throw up a few other cryptos, but the purpose is to kind of recap the day after we had some solid moves in our trade group. I like to recap. We can start off with Tesla. Let me make sure that all of the VIP know that we are streaming. And guys, pleasure to trade with you in the back. That's where we're at. If you guys want to join us, fine. If you don't want to join VIP, I'll just tell you, it's only for the top traders. That's the bottom line. So if you're not in that position right now, just keep at it. That would be my encouragement to you all. So looking at what we had a drop today. The last I left you with, I can explain the charts, what's going on here now. I have the 20 moving averages from the different time frames that are displayed right now on each chart. So on the daily, for instance, I have the 20 moving average, okay, on NVIDIA. In blue, I have the weekly 20 moving average. In green, I have the monthly 20 moving average. In orange, I have that also for Tesla. Again, daily is blue. We are right now on the weekly and going below the weekly, pushing below that weekly on Tesla. That orange line, that's a big deal. Looking at that green would be the specific monthly, okay? So you can see Tesla pushing into that specific weekly moving average. That's a big deal. Let me actually confirm that in terms of the color, because it may be the monthly. I think Tesla is wrapped up. It is the monthly, guys. That is the 1 month moving average. I was looking at it. I said, wait, hold on. Tesla's on the monthly. So yes, that orange is the monthly, okay? Very, very important. And I'll confirm that that green line is the weekly. I'm certain that it is bone. There we go. So that's the weekly below. Tesla is right now on that monthly. Very important. And probably the most consolidated look that we have right now would be on Bitcoin. If you guys are looking at that, checking out the daily, checking out the specific weekly and the monthly, okay? Those are the three primary considerations as we look at the price action. Is up and over, or are we, guys, kind of caught in a bit of a press between the specific daily, the monthly, and the weekly, let's say? Or are we, like, let's say that would be on Tesla. Yeah, I mean, in terms of a squeeze mentality or just a compressed price action amongst the indicators, looking at Bitcoin, we are solidly in this zone. In terms of those moving averages, we also have the 200 weekly moving average, which sits below these, which is a critical level. I'll throw that on a really critical level for every specific asset. If you looked at Tesla, for instance, you see Tesla, look at the 200 weekly. Very quickly, take a look at this. The 200 weekly on Tesla, boom, that was the bottom inflection point for Tesla. So in addition to your daily, weekly, monthly, 20 moving averages, okay, do pay attention to the specific, pay attention to your specific 200 weekly moving average. And we do that in the back. Shout out to J-Mac. J-Mac loves that 200 weekly. He is always on it, and it pays. It's a good guys, a good litmus test to look at your assets. We're going to go over now, what was it? On Friday, I left you guys and said I didn't think it was, personally attractive for us to be in just kind of in a weekend potential stress situation with Tesla. We had some good trades on Bitcoin in the back today. Congratulations to the VIP who were trading. Congratulations, nice trades. A little bit of action on Bitcoin yesterday, on Bitcoin today as well. What we didn't like on Friday, if you guys will recall, what we did not like on Tesla on Friday was this bear flag formation. Even though we were in a bullish pattern in terms of an expansion, I just didn't like it. I couldn't find, if you guys will recall on Tesla, I could not find the specific, really in terms of the pattern identification, we did not have, I'll just say, not that I couldn't find, but we did not have a nice fan reversal herein. I really couldn't establish a good fan reversal. You can use GANs or you can draw them as New York Institute of Finance, where guys, Wall Street goes to school. You can draw them as Murphy of New York Institute of Finance in terms of their publication, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets, as he would recommend that you draw those. Remember, you need a seat of the array, then you need that specific just crawl up and through. So that specific bear flag, move to the downside. Remember, it's an upward sloping, okay, upward sloping channel for either a bull flag or a bear flag. We want the channel to cut against the trend. Okay, the channel cuts against the trend. The trend is down, channel cuts against that trend. Okay, so we saw the completion, boom, early on open. I want to shout out to VIP. You had a great trade opportunity early on Tesla. Boom, yes, you traded well on Tesla. We'll take a look. So just a bit of a recap from last week where we closed out. That was well done, guys. I will say, do not take your positions for the next day. That's not what this is about in terms of a recap. Technically, you get your books. You guys, you use your know-how in terms of these charts. That is not the notion here. I will tell you what I'm happy with or unhappy with, but you don't know how I trade, to be honest. You do not know how I trade. I may not like a trade for a week. I may not like a trade for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And then I may decide that I like a trade with $500,000 in margin. That may be right down the road for what I'm accustomed to. So whatever you're doing with your trades, don't try and bend it and wrap it around my commentary here. I'm very, very specific in terms of some of the trades that I really like to dig into and the way that I like to dig into my trades. It's not to be offensive. It's not to put off. I just want to let you know where you're at and where I'm at. It's completely different in terms of what I may say that I don't like this or I like this. Ideally, I like to stay in that 72% to 85% category, right? I like to be the guy at the gym or wherever it is on the beach jogging around, and it's, well, you know, just look like that trade's easy, right? Man, this guy, he makes it look easy. That's 75% to 85% or greater on your trades. That's what makes it look easy. You guys know that. In addition, we have some great tools that are in play. Let's go through NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA. Now, I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite trades, and it's been parked on the side screen here, this chart that I'm going to show you now. And I'll just warn you guys, I'll warn you anytime that you're hunting for the right answer. If you don't have the right answer, I'm going to tell you, you personally, if you do not have the right answer, just flush, ready to go in terms of your own TA, and you're shopping around trying to come up with the right answer, you are in the danger zone. That is the worst, guys, and some people will even do worse than that. I'm encouraging you right now. I'm telling you, I'm encouraging you right now to make sure that you can find the right answer in the market. You don't need to shop around. You say, well, I just look at this guy or that guy or this source or that source because they're wrong most of the time, but sometimes they're right. Don't let that trash in your playbook. Do not let it in your playbook. Boom. Get it out, guys. Get it out of there. Make sure that you know the right the right methodologies to use on the trades to try and get yourself into that zone, that 75% to 85 or 90% in terms of a trade, guys, a trade tactic. That's what we focus on. So let's take a look at NVIDIA real quickly. And Morgan Stanley came out today with a reinforcement in terms of their specific, their projection on earnings, I believe it was. And I'll check into that some more. I got a quick update on CNBC. But that was big. That was a big deal in terms of, thank you for streaming. Great trades, trade day for VIP. You got it, Venus. You're welcome. And I do appreciate, by the way, I do appreciate anyone at YouTube or otherwise that can kind of be a bit selective in terms of who all may be involved in our trading at all. We could do these private. I don't mind some exposure. That's not to say that we want to be just completely exclusive. I don't like the insinuation that might bring to us or otherwise to be too exclusive. At the same time, I appreciate a professional level of involvement, and I've done research, guys. I've done studies and research with some very interesting individuals in terms of the average YouTube or the average internet user. So I bring that up because I am, I guess, literally schooled in that preceding intelligence levels, etc., in terms of some of the pitfalls of what would you say? Some of the pitfalls of of the typical cruiser along the internet. So we don't mind a small group, guys. I don't mind it at all. I'd prefer so that you know and you deal with our group appropriately. I prefer big trades. Venus and I talk about this all the time. It's a juncture we get into. Do you want the time dedicated to a huge group? You want 200 people? Should we have 500 people, 1,000 people in terms of 1,000 VIPs? Or do we want the next big trade and the next big significant trade? You guys know that. Where do you guys think that I would fall if I want 1,000 people? Right? Do I want 1,000 people in a room, or do I want the next big trade? The next big trade. You guys got that right. So that's very important for me, just as a bit of side commentary. Now, this is one of my favorite moves in the market for VIP. You guys know this without a doubt. There's a bit of a variable construction on NVIDIA, line of resistance but carried down, line of support, and I've just got it perfectly laid out. I gave you guys this side chart. I can really work on these new side profile multi-monitor systems that we have set up. They're very nice, and yeah, they're very, very nice. So you guys got a copy of that in terms of this morning right on support. Boom. In addition, our fire and ice picked up very nicely. I think the 15 minutes. Please note the 15 minutes in terms of fire and ice on NVIDIA. That's right. And in terms of that, what I liked about the move this morning, it is one of my favorite trades, period, because it catches so many people off sides. Listen up, guys. Listen up like you mean it. Please listen up. Why do I like this? Because it catches so many people off sides. All right? People are looking at a trend identification like this, okay? Resistance to this support down here. This was an interesting catch. I've just been laser-eyed on this. And one of the reasons is because the specific level of resistance, this is on the hourly. You can go to the 4-hourly or the daily chart. But if you're to look at this specific level of resistance that's confluent with that, I'd say this straight line demarcation across the top and this upward portion of the channel, I'll tell you, I drew this, I think Thursday or Friday. The rest of the market is all drawing this right now, right? I guarantee you the rest of the market's already drawing this right now and being like, oh, okay, now this situates up in here. What gave me an indication to give guys a trade op? We call them trade ops. That's it. What's an op? An op in VIP just means an opportunity, okay? I don't always say it's a trading opportunity, but it's a trade op. So if you see me right in the back, hey, it's a trade op, that just means it's an opportunity, okay? I'm bringing you guys opportunities to trade. You do the guys financial involvement and everything else, good fun stuff like that, but I'm gonna bring you some trade ops to see if you want to take advantage of those opportunities, huh? That's nice, huh? Every op is really just an opportunity. So in terms of the specifics here, looking at the amplitude move here that we were at, okay, this is what I love. Most people will start to just run scared saying the trend is broken. And I just tell you, how many people just completely, guys, I see people, I can't stand this. And I know you guys know this. I don't want to digress, but I can't stand people who are popularized by company X, Y, or Z, be it on YouTube or Twitter or something else, and it's just a shogun waste of time for everybody, I just don't like it. I know you guys know that, but it just bothers me. I just don't even like saying, oh, that's our competition over there. It's not competition. Measured move. Listen up, guys. The measured move here in terms of the specific feature here. Bam. To the downside. Bam. We look for this and just pay attention. VIP who've been around for a while, you know this move, I always say it's just my favorite move. And why is that? Because everybody goes screaming for the hills here. They are just out, it's over, biggest letdown. What do? We target in, bam. We want to catch the specific move to the downside is great, but we also want to target in, right? So NVIDIA just completed my favorite move. Glad I brought that. It was a nice hit this morning. You guys had that in the back in terms of a level of support, this carry up here, in terms of the resistance to the support. So we nailed that, guys. In terms of fire and ice, that got done well and it just kept going. What else was kind of a critical feature? As we look at, let's go into NVIDIA, because it's a good day, guys, up 6.38%. That's great volatility. Bitcoin up 0.22%, sticking around the 29,003. Right? We had an eye on Solana. Solana could move a little bit. You guys know that. You know the hurdles we've got. Let's talk about Technically speaking, where we're at on Tesla, also on Nvidia, also on Bitcoin, also on Solana. Okay, let's do that right now. Now, Solana, for the record, boom. It traded to the upside very well on a bull flag. Moved to the upside. These are daily charts, by the way. Moved to the upside, downward sloping channel. We caught this move. We caught between the kind of peripheral cryptos. You guys know we caught a lot of those low. I called them low, so you would catch them. We did a good job, guys. Those went from 20 to 30, 40% on leverage. Very nicely done within the last month. Solana was really a pattern trade. Reminded a lot of Tesla in terms of its movement, and it moved quite well. What's the trick on a bull flag? Catch it down in the pattern. Try not to catch it on breakout. If you have to, get involved in this zone. Get involved in this zone. Don't miss the trade, but try and get in this specific lower portion of any bull flag. Again, move to the upside and a downward sloping channel. That's what we need for a bull flag, right? We need that channel to cut against the trend. The trend is up. We expect a move up. We need the specific channel to cut against that trend, against the original move up, okay? So when you see a specific move here, like this, a move to the upside, and we have a channel like this, don't call it a bull flag. Don't call that a bull flag. We need the channel to cut against the trend. If you're moving to the downside, pay attention. And you want a bear flag like we just had Friday, okay? We're moving down. The channel needs to cut against the trend. Boom. Okay, so we need that flex in price, the cut against in the consolidation, so that we can have the expectation of boom, moving to the upside, or boom, moving back to the downside, right? It's a continuation pattern, right? And we need that to cut against the trend, not with the trend, not a bull flag like that and a bear flag like this, guys. We don't want to spill out. This becomes what? This becomes bullish. Any downward sloping channel essentially is generally is bullish. Any upward sloping channel is generally what? Bearish. Okay, so we need that to cut against in a bullish fashion, bam, to the upside. In a bear flag, we need that to cut against the trend, which is to the downside, boom, right? Very, very, very well done. All right, now let's look at, let's dig into what we have on, and let's go through NVIDIA, because we have some upside targets and an immediate level of interaction that's distinct and noted. What is it on the daily? I believe so on the daily, right? The daily was nice. We brought this up on Friday, etc. Gave you guys this this detail in terms of the flat bottom support. You guys got it, okay? Descending triangle, big time. Where do bulls like to tread water here? You guys got it, huh? We love specific descending triangles. We love to get involved below, right? We love this recoup move. We trade these every week, almost every day. If we can trade them every day, we trade them every day. You're seeing a nice confluence here, which is of some concern right now and is being evaluated in terms of, and you'll see this specific auto draw feature that I have on right now that I've built, and we're going to be deploying that to VIP. Get excited. It's a bit of auto draw. If you don't like it, guys, I like it. I'm going to tell you, I like it. I don't know. It's not perfect right now. I need to scrub through some of the code and get it to really work out. I know it looks like too much on the screen. Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you, just don't worry about it. It's nice to have. Bam, this just lined out on the screen. Very well done. So we have a flat bottom that's been established on NVIDIA, right? So you've got, in line with the specifics here, you've already got the market that's projecting out in terms of a potential flat bottom support. We grabbed on the daily. It's a good thing. It's kind of bittersweet, right? Because everyone's looking at this saying what? Everyone on NVIDIA, and guys, it's up 6.5%, over 6% today. We're going to focus on it. That's it. You guys know London. Former hedge fund owner, private non-SEC, not financial advice. Go to your broker if you want that, guys. Not planning your financial future. You trade how you want to trade, okay? We're going to trade, and I'm going to trade how I want to trade. In terms of the specifics, the market on NVIDIA is excited. I'll tell you, the good traders are excited because what did we just get? We just got some good volatility. Yes, we did. On what? On a nice recoup pattern here. And this is where things get interesting because everybody's like, hold on, look at this daily. For anyone who's really plugged into price action recoups in terms of throwbacks or pullbacks, pull back to prior level of support. Ba-boom. You know, and you can tell people, I'll tell you, you can tell people you've got the answer, right? You've got the answer. I'm a little, you know, I got to tell you guys, if you really know the answer, you don't, we know the answer, right? I'm going to tell you guys, in terms of trading, we know what works. It's based on 40 plus years of empirical data. And even before that, in terms of the amount of work that's gone into the largest empirical study that's publicly available, Bulkowski, Mr. Bulkowski, my man, my friend, I hope you're doing well. And if by chance you happen to catch this stream, it's been a pleasure to be in communication with you. And we look forward to great things in 2023 as we round out Q3 and 4 and 2024. Good times incoming. So in terms of the specifics, and guys, Bulkowski is the most well-renowned, active publisher in terms of, and really guys, he's the authority in terms of empirical price action and pattern data with expectations of fractional completions, etc. And you know, for people who I just tell you guys, you know, you're not going to catch that. You're not going to catch that flyer at a county fair for a $5 ticket. It's like, oh wow, I just, you know, it's prized information. It's something we really appreciate having access to. So looking at NVIDIA, back to it, and I bring that up in the context with Bulkowski of a flat bottom support, boom, with a return to the preceding level of support. Now, I can do this in terms of my assessment so that you know how I'm looking at these specific charts. I can just do this. I can do this and I'm already there, okay? In terms of the auto draw features that I'm looking at right now, so that you know if I bring a chart in the back and it were to look like this, I'm assuming that you're doing the following, that you're picking up on the proper flat bottom supports. You'll have this on your own charts at some point soon here, guys. Promise, guys and gals. Particularly, Venus, shout out, hope you're doing well. Without a doubt, hope you're doing great. So looking at a flat bottom support, I'm going to make the assumption many times, and I may just bring you a chart, okay, to let you guys know what I may mention and type along, say, descending triangle, right? You'll see the descending triangle, and you may see, you know, I'll say note both of them. Okay, note both of them in terms of the framework here. But the good thing is this, and this gives a lot of, guys, what does this give? Just a lot of credibility to the opportunity in NVIDIA to potentially trade, because looking at the micro framework and potential macro framework, the critical point was this. This was the critical point, the pickup here, which we caught today in the back. Congratulations. And what I'll say is this, as we look at the specific here, this was the critical feature. If you want to, and we'll get into kind of the dichotomy, the split that we're looking at in terms of the opportunity, because I tell people all the time, the issue is not whether or not you're going to make money in the market. If you have just $1, okay, if you literally apportion $1 appropriately in the market in terms of your exposure, technically speaking, it becomes very difficult for you not to make any money. If you appropriately expose it to the appropriate assets, not financial advice, but you know, if you appropriately manage your risk and your financial, your capital exposure, it becomes very difficult for you not to make some money, just some. Now the question is how much? And the way I say it all the time, it's not a question of whether or not you're going to make money, it's a question of how much, right? And this is, and that's really the question that plagues traders you know, I'll just tell you guys, and it can be a radical kind of line that you get into. It's like, you know, when you get into the how much, because you carry with you all of the trades that went up, and I was, you know, I was 250 grand, or I was 2.5 million into, or I was 20 million into profits, right? I was 2 grand into profits, or I was 200 grand into profits, or I was $2 million into profits. And then what happened? And then it went to zero, right? Okay, the guys who push harder, the girls who push harder into the markets, okay, they're comfortable washing their hands, guys. If they're going to push into the market harder, and on the whole, watch that skill set develop. If you'd like to develop that skill set, I'm not going to necessarily recommend it. I've dealt with a lot of people who fortunately have it. I like to have that around me and to cultivate it in you to the extent that that's reasonable, right? Looking at NVIDIA, let's back out a little bit here. Now, the trade opportunity is what? Well, we just got proven a little bit of a kickback function to the prior level of support. It's a good probability that would happen, a decent level of probability that would happen. Now, as you were to look at this, the market's saying, all right, I just made some money. right? We just woke up. The whole point of this is kind of close out trade day, right? All right, we just made some money, right? As you look at the opportunity here, you look down at Nvidia, and guys, you're gonna, who's gonna say which way the wind blows, right? Tomorrow. And then you got to be the guy or the girl. The whole idea in the market, you got to learn how to make the wind blow yourself. You got to figure out how to make it blow yourself. That's a good old expression I've used for a while, and it rings true. In terms of this, we have a trade opportunity that we just got to flip back, guys, to pull back a specific throwback to preceding level of supports right out of VIP handbook. I'll just tell you guys, right out of our playbook. The issue that the market is discerning right now, probably going to start with something like this. We could do it with our fire and ice, right? Trying to find an accommodating lower level for potential, and the work that's going on, guys, how could it not be going on at the top trade shops right now, right? If we just got this move on the daily, the specific, in terms of let's grind into this and make sure we've got this, right? The level amplitude move to the downside is being assessed now, cross time frame between the specifics, and this is just how it would start, right? Between the lines. Now we're going to draw out to the candles, and why would I do that? Because I'm not exactly on any kind of a real point of interaction on the primary range here, right? The primary range Fibonacci's. Good thing about our fire and ice, we're going to catch these moves. We're going to catch essentially fire and ice is programmed to where you're going to be on a trend line. If your fire and ice does not hold, I just tell you, if your fire and ice does not hold, okay, you've hit a trend line of support or resistance that hasn't held, period. It is calculated in terms of that. You're gonna be on a line of resistance or support somewhere. You guys have seen that in the back in terms of fire and ice. That is what it's calculated to bring you in terms of the fire and ice. So as I go through and just kind of let you guys know, where are the orders stacking right now? That 38.2 at $334 is getting lit up. I'm telling you guys why, because we just had a great trade here, right? Great trade in terms of that rebound effect here to preceding level of support. Now with this flat bottom indicated on the daily as well, with a flat bottom support here and here, boom, boom. On the wicks, we have an indication that that 38.2 on the entirety of this range function from the low to the high is in play. It's also confluent with what? Also confluent with that preceding level of support, level of resistance, that peak play out. Pardon, guys, that preceding level of resistance, that top out in and around that $345. So that specific pivot is in play with these two targets to the downside. So that is that's highly relevant in terms of how you would look at structuring in potential exposure, even when you have missed an opportunity to guys, what opportunity are you going to miss? I mean, I saw Kramer on CNBC today, and he says, and he's telling the truth, I brought NVIDIA to people here. Like, well, hey, dog, go for it. You got it going on. And you guys, I don't know if you heard him on CNBC today. He was getting angry. He was telling everybody who was giving him a hard time about it. You guys know this. He was telling everybody who was giving him a hard time about, well, you got me into this and everything else. He told them this morning in an aggressive fashion and I know exactly how he feels, just dealing with people in and around that you may not know, don't care, late to the ball game and everything else. He screamed at him. He told him to get out. Literally before it went 6%, he had gotten so much trash because it was going down. He got on CNBC today and he screamed. He did, guys. You can say what you want about Kramer. He's an unpopular guy. He might be unpopular because of something like this too. He brings it at $12. NVIDIA at like $12. We can look at exactly where it was, but yeah, he did. And so in terms of the hate he's getting right now, the pressure he's getting right now, he screamed at everybody before it went up 6% today and told everybody, get out. If you're in this and that, and you're complaining and literally screaming, like, hey, good job, just give it to him. I'm not a fan at all, but I understand what he goes through, and he does take a position. For what you can or can't say, that's noteworthy that you're taking a position, right? A lot of people don't want to cut against the grain or want to stay in a safe mode. Taking a look at this, you can see the flat top resistance on the 30-minute right now. Just going through a little bit of the ideology in terms of, I'd say, the tactical approach, how you would approach things in terms of if you were structuring in larger amounts of cash, right? Maybe you wanted a position, of course, always ready to double down. At least, guys, heavy cash reserves, name of the game, right? You guys got that, okay? In terms of the feature, the recovery today. Let's go through this because it plays on, Bitcoin plays on everything that we personally see, right? In terms of the 5 minute, what did we have to recoup to? We had a specific on the 5 minute here, and it may take a minute for my specific indicators to catch up or not. Let's see if on the 3 minute, we may catch it on the 3 minute. I have to shop these a little bit. What we did have, and I've given you guys a chart in the back already. Let's see if this is, they're going to compute sometimes they won't. That's okay. It's a heavy load to get these to automatically generate everywhere. I also have to limit how many of them we can draw. So it's a lot of lines to draw. If you look at that, it's like, do I just want them? And as you understand how I'm building this, it's like, do I just want to show actively right now what we are, the active range in terms of flat bottom support and resistance, or do I want to flood the chart with them so that I can evaluate on a backtest basis how well this asset's doing on recoveries to flat bottom supports, right? Prior flat bottom supports from underneath, or flat top resistances from above. So it's not just a simple routine to say, well, no problem, we'll catch them all, right? Looking at this, what we had was a flat bottom support in this area. Take a look at the 15 minute if you would. And we had a flat bottom support. This green is an indication that buyers were present in the market. We look for that recoup, boom. Yes, Blackjack City. Why do we call it Blackjack? We call this Blackjack because we had a double bottom, pay attention, and I know you guys got it. A double bottom with a single pass through. Indeed. That is what we trade as a blackjack. Why do we call it blackjack? Because a 2-1 double bottom, single pass through. You got it. It's good stuff, isn't it? That is a beautiful move. Boom. There we go. Double bottom, single pass through, and bam. When blackjacks fly, they fly, guys. We really like to see that. I call it an ace deuce sometimes. Just a 2-1. Anything with a 2-1 in it, I'll call it an ace deuce, blackjack. 2-1, I don't know, a 2-1, but blackjack or an ace deuce is pretty much what we're gonna refer to it as. So let it be known, this is a trade tactic of ours. You guys know that, and it fits in perfectly with what we saw today. So it was a great pickup in terms of that level of support brought to you in terms of the channel formation earlier today. I'm not bringing it up to beat my chest, guys. I'm bringing it up to or pound my chest and say, hey, look at me, guys. I'm bringing it up so that you'll have a good idea of the technical framework that played out well today. Okay, that's the only reason. I have no other incentive to do it, guys, so that you understand the technical features that were in play today, the recovery on the blackjack, right? You got it, okay? And let's pay attention to how something's moving. If it's moving 6.65% in a day, you got it. Boom. Blackjack formation, recoup up to what? To another level of buyer interest. You guys got it. Right? Okay, this green line, we had a level of established buyer support. Bam. On one, guys, on some or many time frames, this was a flat bottom support. This is how I have this coded, okay? Level of support, interest, recoup. We have a level of support, interest that has not gotten a recoup in line with a gap that could be filled as well up at the 444 and 444.60, okay? So, looking at this type of a framework, recovering levels of buyer interest. We like to do it. We do it all the time, guys. We've been doing it for months. We've looked in the back, everything from, you guys know I cut my teeth on New York Institute of Finance, right? Technical analysis in high school. So I'm not a young cat anymore. So in terms of that, I've been at this for a while. So if I bring you up corn futures or soybeans or something like that, it's just like, what is London doing? I come by it honestly. I've been, when I was 17 years old, 16 years old, it's like, that's all I wanted to do. I certainly didn't want to read Shakespeare and, whatever else, study history, like give me the market books. So I had to do all my homework early so I could sit in class and read, and my teachers let me. I tried really hard to be the top of the class so they let me just read the New York Institute of Finance. So in terms of this, but we've explored essentially the recoveries, right? The blackjack rationale. We've explored it on everything from corn futures in the back to whatnot. We don't trade corn futures, guys. There's no reason to. Looking right now at the elements in play, we do have the specifics here for essentially a preceding level of resistance across trend. in play between this level of support, level of resistance, right? And we've got some, let's look at this, 6.62% of the upside, checking out Bitcoin and some other coins. Let's just look at the technicals for now. We might as well, we'll sift back over. We got to roll with this, huh? Question being right now, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. As we talk about the trade ops in terms of opportunities, et cetera, that we would look at and what the market just got dealt, it's a split decision, okay? We may have another 12 rounds, period. Okay, that's the way I would look at this. Or it's a split decision, or we have there's going to be another, we've got half the fight left here, guys. In terms of the issue, and I say all the time, it's not a matter of if you're going to make money in the market, it's a matter of how much. What'd you do today? You made money in the market, right? Bam, on a level of support we brought in the back. In addition, Fire and Ice did well. The issue now is if we want direction, specific direction, we've essentially gotten back to our target. Now, there are two camps. One camp's going to stack orders. Guys, they're going to stack shorts at the preceding level of support. That's camp number one. Yep. You guys know that. Camp number two is going to look for the blackjack. Okay. Camp number two is going to look for the blackjack that we caught essentially at the bottom here with the specific flat bottom support, recovery up to that preceding flat bottom support, boom, up and out. We can pull a specific blackjack on the daily, okay? Talk about making the bears cry. You guys know this, but we can pull a specific blackjack on the daily, and that's the whole idea of a blackjack. A real blackjack is a recovery move up, over, and through this preceding level of support, okay? So if you have a prized entry right here and you have not traded NVIDIA much, okay? You've got half of the fight left. I'm just telling you guys, you have half the fight left to determine whether or not, you guys know this, but we got half the fight, who's going to be the champ. I tell you guys, we are at a potential inflection point, okay? We're at a potential inflection point, meaning nearly at flat bottom support. So if you have a prized entry here, fantastic, guys. If you're going to go for the heavyweight championship, right? If you're going to go for the heavyweight championship, you need to be prepared. Bottom line. And I'll tell you that because I see a lot of heavyweight champs in this business with heavy hands, and they're comfortable with a $500,000 just, position. We're going to get the next one. All right. If that's not you in terms of your mentality, then you need to adjust. You need to be reasonable with yourself so you're not sweating, right? So you can find the next good trade op, right? And we'll bring it. You guys know we are right on it. So in terms of Bitcoin, shout out, Bitcoin hit the bell formation today. And I was going to say, guys, you're halfway in the battle right now. If you wanted to dig into really low time frames on this and really get a good idea of where we're likely technically to head tomorrow, we're busting through a level of resistance right now on a shallow kind of shoulder with a reversed, really a reverse cup and handle feature with just a nice double bottom. You see the bull here, huh? We didn't need a right shoulder. There are orders all around this thing right now. You guys know that there are orders all up and down on this right now. I'm just glad that we caught the bottom. Let's go on to Tesla and take a look before market closes. We're just at a really strong inflection point, guys, to tell you that the bulls are absolutely going to just power up and through this. I mean, guys, I'm not going to just boldly tell you something that doesn't technically resound based on any empirical data or otherwise. If I tell you something, it's going to be empirically formulated and backed up. I'm going to tell you guys with 40 years of empirical studies on the markets as a whole. So to the extent that you're not getting the answer you want, well, then the answer you want may not be satisfied within the framework of the last 40 years of the highest level of empirical studies that have been done on the market. Okay, so the goal here is a 443. Okay, the goal is a 443. Let me get into this real quickly and just line that out. 443 is the goal. All right, on the daily, that's going to match up nearly with a hit on the wick or a line. Okay, which we have not hit. So we have not hit on the lines on the daily. This would be an unsatisfied interest. I'll just tell you, this would be an unsatisfied interest. Let's park it and leave it there. If the bulls are not strong enough to complete and satisfy a preceding level of interest established and to flip a level of support to resistance, then so be it. They showed up surprisingly actually weak on NVIDIA, and that's the way NVIDIA is going to play, and that's the way we're going to leave it. You have an unsatisfied interest at 443.29. Bottom line, okay? Let's take a look. We have all day on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla cutting prices again. What was it in China? That was the news we received. China's tough, guy. I almost spoke Chinese. China is tough, guys. You know that. Not bad to see a bit of a break in terms of Tesla. Great trade-off this morning. Congratulations, everybody who caught the trade-off. It was nice. Max move, really about 2%. Is that 3.05%, about 3% from our pickup line. Nice pickup this morning on Tesla. If you traded it more heavily and you're in a regret zone because you didn't trade it as heavily as NVIDIA, hey, good trade on Tesla. Build your profile in terms of what you want to trade. If it's Tesla, trade Tesla. Try not to hop around too much, right? Develop a specialty. So as we're looking at what I want to identify is any upside demand level zones that have been unsatisfied, okay, that haven't been re-achieved, any buyer support that have not been satisfied. Let's look at any levels of resistance as well. Okay, I'm very cognizant that any level of resistance, in spite of, pay attention, any level, we're about at a cross trend line here in terms of the 5 minutes. I like my expansions. You guys know this. I like bump and run reversals. I like my expanding broadening wedges, right? I like this specific pattern framework here. And Tesla has just honestly been one that if we have a clear pattern, we look forward to it trading. If we don't, what do? We catch it on the fly. You guys know this. Paying well, she is. It was today within the first 7 minutes. Was it 7 minutes? We'll look back, guys. Very short period of time. Bam, bam, in, out. Boom, nice move. It's almost not to Tesla's, I'd say, it's almost disrespectful that I would sit there and not give it its due attention throughout the entirety of the stream today. NVIDIA was really a monster, so we'll talk about that. Nearly a monster, doing very well. Nice surprise move. Thanks to Morgan Stanley. Good job, guys, in terms of that upgrade notification. Looking at the specific symmetrical triangulation here on the 5 minute or on the 3 minute. Okay, we've got a micro, and this is just Tesla. As you look into Tesla, micro curvature and handle feature. Okay, quasi-ascending triangle. I can try and clean this up just for a moment so that we can take a look here. You guys see flat bottom resistance. Tesla loves to grind along these. You guys know that. She loves to grind along and throw out small little cup and handles. And kind of as she consolidates, I'll just tell you guys, is it a prominently bullish pattern that we want to just say, oh, that's something I'm definitely holding through tomorrow. Definitely holding through tomorrow. I'm looking at a bit of differentiation in terms of we have a symmetrical breakout in terms of a pennant type feature to the upside on the 1 minute time frame, right? If I'm going to drill that down, I would say that we have a bit of a level of resistance here. Let's see, if I want to be concerned with this, I'm going multi-time frame just to assess whether or not we have confirmation, which is agreement of all the indicators, all the patterns, etc. on all the time frames. You guys got that right, okay? Or are we looking at a conflict, essentially what we call it just a conflict zone. Looking at the 30-second, I'm not finding it extremely helpful. The 1 minute is clearer in terms of a breakout in terms of that specific pennant formation. So the move to the upside, and let's just take a look at this, okay? Is this the type of expansion that we want to be a part of, right? If you traded, I'll tell you guys, I know VIP, I know how you guys trade. You took some profits today already on Tesla. So you made some money. If you're looking for a clear cut, like just a rocket kind of a solution, let's take a look and see if we have any, is there a potential just for what was it? We've got a lot of mess right now with Musk and Zuck and all this stuff going on. You guys know this. Elon, I think, threatened or said he was going to try to go to his house and scuffle with him. I think it was a joke. But to the extent that that's just it's a major distraction in terms of everything that's going on, what is going on, guys? I don't know. At some point it's funny, but at some point maybe it's also not the best example for kids to be. I mean, come on, guys. Maybe it's not the best example to just sitting there. I'm not gonna. No one wants to sit there and be a spoil sport. No, it's just a joke. But come on. At some point there is a level of responsibility that you got to bring into the game. That's what I would. I'll leave it at that. That's it. Not everything Elon does, if anything, is made for kids. But try and be a role model, huh? One of the richest guys on the planet. Try. Nothing wrong with, I guess, professional fighting. Onwards back to the Tesla chart. It's about that difficult to focus on, isn't it? With all the stuff flying around. In terms of this specific pattern, we would call this essentially a bow tie, right? I'm looking for, and I'll call this a bow tie just because it's got a level of, guys, we're looking at some level of a consolidation or constriction, a convergence of price action. Then I'm going to have there on the other side a divergence of price action, okay? We call it a bow tie just because it's about situated up like one, right? Okay, we have convergence, then we have divergence between level of support and resistance, It's not a technical term. You're not going to find it anywhere. We just trade them all the time. So in terms of that, we can call it a descending wedge and an expanding, broadening, descending formation. So we can go through all that, or I can just, because I write it 500 times in the back to you guys, sometimes I'll just say it's a bow tie. We need a quick handle on it, right? You guys know that. So level of resistance technically is, if you're looking at this, technically speaking, is this level of resistance. There is a probability, a good probability that we will break this specific line of resistance. I'm not overly excited about the patterning, and I would just make the call based on any kind of a hold position through tomorrow. I would just make the call, honestly. In terms of, guys, in terms of the framework that I put together, never overexposed, and make the trade worth it. Just the bottom line, make the trade worth it. If you're going to hold through tomorrow long, you are going to be praying for a recoup through a level of support preceding pivot to the left. If that's your style, roll with it. Okay, just go with it. If you want to do that, go with it. That's the most important thing I can tell you now. If you're going to play long through this period tomorrow morning and you just have to buy immediately under support and count on everyone who just entered into a short at this level being wrong, roll with it. If you have to do that, I would encourage you on the hourly, given that we're on the left side of the 20 moving average, that we're looking at a falling knife. We're also underneath on the 30 moving average, or the 30 minute, 20 moving average. So we are up, and are we over with an now we're really constricted on the 15 minute, seeing if we have any upside target to the upside. 15 minute is probably a save, just to try and give you a complete rundown in terms of this before the market closes. 15 minute would probably be your best save pattern. Expectation move to the upside would be what here? I'm catching this specific lip in ascending triangle. What are we looking at, guys? Looking at a max move of what? We're going to cut it into about a 0.82% move. So between today and tomorrow, if we make it back up to 241.09, it's going to be because the 15-minute time frame played out. In addition, I'll say that's a confluent confirmation with the other time frame involved, which was the guys, was the 3-minute time frame. Let's say, yeah, the 3-minute time frame. Let's say the 5-minute, 3-minute, looking a bit messier, to be honest, in terms of the differentiation between the 1-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute, that 15 minutes, kind of where we'd like to be with the understanding in terms of a bit more clarity. It's kind of a couched ascending triangle. Resistance, resistance, 2 pivots. Be careful of this pivot. Obviously, if you're going to trade it in after hours, you guys know what you're doing already. And guys, let's go get it. I'm not crazy about picking up underneath a level of support, prior support like this. It's just not my MO. It's not true. It would be an atypical move in the market to do that. So hope you guys are doing well. This will round out the trade day. And congratulations to everybody who traded. Doing quite well in terms of just the trade ops, the opportunities. You guys got that right. Let's bring up on Bitcoin real quickly. And if you're not trading equities, no big deal, guys. No big deal. Some of you maybe older and wiser than anyone else you see around. And I tell you, you may have started trading equities when you were 15. Who knows? A lot of people start young when you're trading equities. It's something that people have enjoyed for a long time, right? And you can get involved at a young age and enjoy for years. So if you're not there now, it's never too late, I'll say. It's also never too early. Get involved in it if it piques your interest. If you're not trading equities, you're just trading Bitcoin and you're in the group, you guys know. What I'll say is it's easy to trade equities. We do it on BTCC. It's a crypto exchange, so everything is familiar. All the leverage is familiar. That's it. It's easy stuff, guys. Very easy to execute. And we would be happy to have you in the hedge room. I do have the hedge room only for people trading equities right now who are on BTCC. Okay, because I can interface with BTCC if there's any problem. I can. I know those guys. I sit there and we'll deal with them directly if you have any issue at all on anything, okay? Looking at Bitcoin, picking up on that 20 moving average on the daily is the key critical feature. All right, that's what we're looking at. We identified this drop zone yesterday and bam, hit right on it, huh? Nicely done. Hit right up to the top side band. Boom. This left some shorts, guys, a little bit short-handed, right, in terms of not completing this move to the downside after opening underneath that 20 moving average. We did not complete that move on Bitcoin to the downside band. So, bam, nice hit to the upside today. Perfect hit into the specific within a number of dollars, guys. We can look at that. The more I start doing this with my charts, it's like, how close did we get? We can make between USDT and USD. USDT is off sometimes where USD is pegged right on it. So congratulations all the VIP that are trading, and shout out. Let's look at this specific chart I have on NVIDIA real quickly. It just is closed. It's too late, huh? So in terms of, we can say that Sydney markets are now open. Welcome Australia. Hope you're doing well. What's going on? VIP Australia in the house. Hope you're doing well. Guys, pleasure to have you. Hopefully Chris gets back from vacation soon. I think he's going to get back from vacation soon. He's a cherished VIP member. And guys, we've got a lot of VIP interest overall in terms of the land down under. We're excited to be and have some exposure to that. Shout out to Tony as well. Tony, it's a pleasure to have you in VIP, and we look forward to you making a lot of progress in 2023 towards your goal of full-time trading if you so choose. Looking at, again, now let's just run through this. This is the good chart I want to, we can focus on. All the right settings, this preceding level of demand interest on NVIDIA. I told you guys in this zone here, I'm like, this is glaring at the traders right now. This 445 zone here is glaring at the traders. So hopefully that was some encouragement for us to ride this up today. We closed out NVIDIA up 7%. That's a nice move, guys. That's a great way to start the week, without a doubt. Nice hands, guys. Way to trade, and nice call on this. Don't forget the rule, the lesson from NVIDIA. Okay, the lesson is that measured move from the upside, the channel formation, when everyone else is saying, oh, the trend is over. Look for that measured move up in this area. Look for that zone hit, boom, measured move to the downside. And I'll say zone because you may have to differentiate a bit if and such as, this was the tricky part on NVIDIA today, if and such as to the extent that we had a crawl of price action up back through along the level of preceding, let's say preceding support to thereafter crank to the downside and give us the measured move. The complication here was the following. We had the expectation of the measured move, but would our breakout be here, in which case we didn't reach the target, or would our breakout be defined as, and it was defined as, a higher technical break down, boom. Gave you the measured move, but you had to crawl the wall. You had to crawl up that level of preceding support, flip to resistance, which also coincided with your daily 20 moving average, guys. So you were crawling up along the specific 20 moving average. So well done, guys. We'll talk to you soon. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Hope you're doing well. Talk to you soon, guys. Take care. Way to trade. Bye-bye.